In 1948, the international community condemnation of torture was the key driver for adding Article 5 to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted by the United Nations General Assembly. This article was reiterated in Article 7 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which states, "No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment. In particular, no one shall be subjected without his free consent to medical or scientific experimentation." Subsequently, the General Assembly established the United Nations Voluntary Fund for Victims of Torture in 1981 to fund organizations providing assistance to victims of torture and their families. The Convention Against Torture was adopted by the General Assembly in 1984 and entered into force in 1987. The Torture Convention has been ratified by 173 countries, and its implementation is monitored by a committee of independent experts, namely, the Committee Against Torture, as well as the optional protocol to the Convention, which is concerned with establishing national mechanisms for the prevention of torture. In 1985, the Commission on Human Rights appointed its first special rapporteur on torture, an independent expert charged with reporting on the state of torture in the world. In December 1997, the UN General Assembly proclaimed June 26 the United Nations International Day in support of victims of torture. Despite international efforts, torture practices by states and non-state actors are on the rise. For example, Iran continues non-stop to violate its international obligations related to torture, and its notorious Evin prison has become a global symbol of torturing opposition. One of the most prominent non-state actors that practice torture is the Houthi group in Yemen, where the total number of cases of torture in Houthi prisons reached 17,000 cases in August 2022. Within the framework of its 30 by 50 Human Rights for All campaign, Maat recommends all governments to abide by their anti-torture international commitments and put pressure on non-state actors to stop torturing detainees.